All right. Blessings upon blessings to you, my children. This message is for my biological children, my bonus children, meaning those who I've been in relationship with your daddies or something, and you became mine because of that connection, and I refuse to ever let you go in my heart because of that. I'm talking to my spiritual children. I'm talking to my godchildren as well. Anyone who deems themselves to be that in my life at all in any capacity. I'm on audio because y'all know I'm a big old emotional baby and crybaby. But I have come to understand some things about myself, and because I'm stepping into this new stage and this new place in my life where I'm living my truth more boldly, right? I want to share a few things with you that's on my heart, and I pray that you're able to receive it in the way I'm presenting it, which is in love. And I think that all of you know that. And I pray that all of you know that at this point. My biological children, to my biological children, my six, I know that life doesn't make sense all the time. And I know that to try to make sense of life, you have to have your space to do it on your own. And because we are biologically tied, sometimes that feels kind of tough because you don't want to be disappointed by that role, the person that plays that role in your life, and you don't want them to be disappointed with you either. And so there are a lot of expectations, unspoken ones at times, on both parts, on mine and on yours. And I always, have these times where I'm in cave time, where I'm really highly sensitive, so I need to be really, really locked in, where I seem like I'm unreachable, or I'm being there for other people more than I'm being there for you all. But I want to say this, and I pray that you really understand me. The reason why I've always pointed out your gifts and your abilities and being your prophet to help you to see things that could come if you did things a certain way is because my heart is always going to bend to what is uplifting for you, the best way that I can do that. But you've also had to live with a mother who didn't know herself either. So I give you the space to know yourself, and I pray that you take my words when we're having conversation as wisdom of the prophet. And I don't want to make that seem like that means that I'm better than anybody else, because y'all know better than that. I don't feel that way. But it is saying, I pray that one day you take my giftings, my calling, my purpose, just as seriously as I take yours. Which means that one day you're going to come back to some of the things that I've given you as messages and say, okay, well, I understand now, Mom. But I want you to understand how it makes me feel when I'm saying what I'm saying to you, because it's been revealed to me, shown to me, or something like that, how it makes me feel to have it be rejected. I don't feel that way as much anymore because, of course, I get to see things from many different perspectives. And so I have a lot of empathy. I am a whole empath, and all I do is feel. All I do is feel. I feel the highs, I feel the lows. And that's just me being one of the individuals in this world that can do that. I'm not any greater than anybody else, but this is just my way of trying to explain. And all the rest of you may be able to relate to what I'm saying right now as well. I'm directing it at the biologicals because they've had to live with me their whole lives, and of course not understand me just as much as they felt like I didn't understand them. So and I think maybe my team probably can relate to that too a bit, which I do count as mine, all right, my spiritual children. So I want you all to understand that I value you. I value, and this is for everybody now. biologicals, I love you with everything in me. Yes, we are biologically connected, but oh my, it is okay that we are different. And I pray that you explore life the way that you need to, but remember those things that I taught you about balance and about love, because at the end of the day, what we put out there is what we're going to get back. And so I want you to be mindful of that. We have to get out of the place where we're looking at everybody else as the one to blame for why we are not who we want to be. And I go through my emotions, but y'all have seen it, and I've expressed to y'all my feelings many a times over the years about how I felt unsupported and unloved and unappreciated. But I go back to, and I believe it's John, either John 44:4 or 4:44, whatever, those fours, y'all, where it says that a prophet is without honor amongst their own kin and in their own town. And I think that just simply means that the more familiar we are with people, sometimes we just do not see the fullness of who they are, so that we can either choose to stay connected to it or to wave every now and again. I don't want us to ever get to the point where we are so distant in our communication that I don't know where you are, or I don't know all of your children or the people you're with, who you choose to live your life with. However, I do not expect you to report to me every single thing that you got to do in your life. And I'm talking to everybody right now who is about to be 18 and over. Okay, Amani and Christian, y'all gonna have to listen to this at another time when you're older and you'll understand it better. Because your information is still mine to manage at this moment, to the best of my ability. Well, Amani, yeah, not so much, because you are definitely trying to figure out your way at this point as well. And though I do very much so understand the mental capacity of trying to hold on to feeling misunderstood and all of that, I've had my screams, my yells. My sister told me the other day, that I've hurt her feelings with my outbursts too. So I am never so judgmental of you all that I don't understand your plight. But I do understand also that at that age, it's very difficult to hear somebody way older than you say, I get it. So I'll try to make sure I maintain the balance of letting you go through the motions for yourself. I realize that love is that. If you read the latest book, Love as the Master Healer, by the way, y'all stay connected to me just so that you know what I'm doing. And if you need some encouragement along the way, just tap in if you don't want to talk or you don't want to message or whatever, as the ministry grows and I expand. I don't remember what I was saying before that, so y'all know me. So I'm gonna just proceed, okay? I'm gonna just proceed. This message really is just to say to you all that I love you. I respect you in your ages. Thank you, Christian, for the kiss. I respect you. I respect you in your growth process. That's what I was about to say. So love in this last book, Love as the Master Healer, I shared the analogy that God gave me about the rocket ship. And for those of you who did read it, cool. For those of you who haven't read it, which pretty much I think all of my spiritual children have read it, and if you haven't read it, then maybe grab it. I'm very transparent in there, like I am in all the other books. But there's a rocket ship. God shows me myself as this rocket ship, and I have fins, and I am about to take off, and I'm getting really anxious and I'm crying because there are those that are holding on to with the fins, and then they're slipping, and I'm trying to catch everybody with the fins, and I'm concerned that if I drop one, that one's going to be mad at me, and the other one, all these different things going on in my mind. And I'm sharing the fullness of what I was feeling at the time. But he showed me as that with the fins, and I'm trying to catch everybody as I'm going up, and I'm getting nervous because everybody's falling off. And so then God shows me as a rocket ship without any fins, and I'm going up, and I'm crying because everybody's slipping off now even more so, and I can't do anything about it, and I'm crying and I'm going through the motions. And then God says to me, love says to me, if you take them to an atmospheric pressure where they can't breathe, they die. And so I thought about it in this way at that time. Of course, got emotional, like, oh my God, no, I don't want nobody to die. And so God is saying, love allows people to choose, even your children, because they're not yours, they're me in a different reflection, right? We're all unique expressions of the great I am in different forms. And so we all have to be able to find that person, find that place, find that authentic self. That's what this whole journey is about, remembering who God is expressed to be as you. And that means you have to have space to be able to do it. But you also have to have the balance and also have to be pressed a little bit. So the next part of the revelation that he gave me, even now as I'm talking to you, if I could be honest, is that there are some who will choose to go and push that limit with me. And most of those are my spiritual children, those who I'm assigned to in this earth to help build. And the people that my biological children have seen around me for years, those who have come into my life as my bonus children or as other kids, and they needed something at the time that I had for them. The presence that my biological children always had, but didn't really fully understand because they had to live with every part of me. But there are those who will still choose, even out of all of my bonus children, biological children, who will one day choose to connect to what God is doing in my life and to ride it all the way out and honor and in respect. And respect enough to say, Mama, I appreciate you, but I think I'm going to choose this. And for me to respect that. But for you to also respect the fact that if that's something you choose and it doesn't align with what I'm doing, then I have the same liberty to say that's okay. Let's wave from across the room. Let's wave from across our paths. And I respect you and you respect me, and it's always love. And if you ever need me and I can show up, I will. One thing that I ask is that the ones who choose to go to that atmospheric pressure with me press themselves a little bit, and that are willing to die to themselves so that we can grow and be some, death and rebirth is the process of life. Tap in when you need to tap in, and when you're good, you're good. But for those who choose to ride that out with me, because you believe that I'm your apostle, I'm your prophet, I'm your pastor, I'm your coach, if that's the role I play in your life, I pray that everybody else in my life honors that. Honors the fact that there are those who choose to be a part of this tribe of love, and we marching forward with me being my whole authentic self and not having to worry about dropping anybody. I want to respect your life, and I want you to respect mine. I give because I want to, not because I want something in return. But I do ask that when you see me down, when you see me having to go into my space and my cave, or that I'm in a sensitive place, that you at least try to know me that well. And it's not that you knew or understood it before, because I didn't understand it before, but I'm saying now that when I go into my lows, which with my diagnosis of bipolar 1 and with ADHD and those, but me just being a whole water sign period, both water signs period. I'm emotion. I'm all emotion, but I am that because there are so many people in the world who feel unheard. And the truth of the matter is that it's all of us. We feel misunderstood in different spaces. And there are those who are connected to me because they want to see themselves different. They want to be transformed by the renewing of their minds. They want to go through the same healing, because I share transparently because, man, I know my stuff. And I know that it takes a renewed mind to choose to walk a path that everybody is going to look at and say, oh, well, I mean, who she thinks she is, I get it. I get it a lot. I'm probably every negative spiritual thing that there is. And yes, there are spiritual battles on a regular around me, because that's the call of my life, to help people to fight those things that are perceived as demons, but really are just simply battles we're having within ourselves, because we don't want to disappoint, and we don't want to be disappointed. I say this to my spiritual children all the time. We are all the offender and the offended. We are all the villain and the victim. In somebody's eyes, this is true. The same way you see somebody as an enemy, somebody sees you as an enemy. And this is the reason why we pray for each other, even if we don't understand each other. Because what someone's praying against you, more than likely you're praying that against somebody else. And if you are not praying it against someone else, it's just something else for you to be able to overcome. But anyway, I don't want this to go on more and more and more, but I do want to share this as I'm in this space of emptying out. I just sent my Atlanta bonus kids a message in a group chat. Not that I'm gonna bombard nobody messages, because I don't do that to y'all unless I have to. I let you have your space and live your life, but I just sent them a group message, just to share my thoughts and to let them know I always value them. And I just was boo crying while I was messaging it. And so I said, okay, God, now is the time for me to pour this out to my children, praying that they're understanding of it. And if they're not, then definitely we could always have a conversation. And just know when I'm not responding, it doesn't mean that you're ignored or you're unloved. It just means that that's one of those moments that I don't have no fins and I can't catch anybody. And I have to allow you to take it as you take it. And when the dust settles, if you're still standing there with me and we still love each other, then amen. I know I'm not going to ever stop loving y'all, but accept me as I am, and rock with me if you're going to rock, and listen to the poetry and the music and the affirmations and all the love talk and the love walks with me and all that, if you choose. And if you don't, I respect that. I respect that with my whole heart. It doesn't mean I'm not going to grieve, though. We all grieve. And so that's what I was doing when I was texting them. Not grieving like we never gonna see each other again, but grieving the phases, y'all have to grow up and out. Y'all have to go and live and choose and fumble and fall into ditches and learn how to get out on your own. And I've been afraid that if I ever left or didn't answer the phone or didn't message, and some of y'all think that I don't already. But the truth is, sometimes, God does call me to be shut in for a month or longer, because what I have to say prophetically, I don't need people to think that I got it from talking to them all the time. Oh, she just saying that because we talked the other day. Yeah, sometimes I'm supposed to be shut in and not do that, and be incubated and isolated and be in my shell, be in my crab shell, kind of snappy if, somebody steps close to me in those times, not because I really want to hurt anybody. That's why I isolate, so I don't snap. But my biological children, again, you've lived with me your whole lives, and so you've been a part of my whole process. So forgive me for ever snapping at you for something you didn't do. But also honor the fact that I never taught you to play favorites with people, because it'll be harder and harder for you to walk this love walk when your time comes, or whenever you choose to follow it, if you're looking at favorites. God has no respecter of person. Love has no respecter of persons. It's the reason why all of my children will always be all of my children. And it doesn't make you guys not bright in my world. You're always going to be a part of my heart no matter what. And your children are an extension of my lineage. So I can't be more proud of you. I can't be more proud of you. I love y'all so very much, and here is my last closing. 4 minutes later. No, really, I love you guys. I love you. I love you. And I love you. And I love you. Make sure I have updated phone numbers and email addresses and stuff like that, so that if I'm in a far part of the country, underground, talking to people who really don't know that they are free to live and love with balance, with honor for those who came before you in some way, shape, or form, honor for those who come after you, because they are leading us into a new generation and a new dispensation and age. Love one to another. All right. Many blessings and big hugs.